Welcome back. We're live streaming once again. Welcome everybody to another episode of Apple Home Talk Live. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while. I am so glad to be back here live streaming, chatting with you guys. I hope you guys have been doing well. Checking in with the chat here. We got a lot to talk about. It's been, a couple weeks. I think we took 2 weeks off. So we normally stream every Wednesday. Took a couple weeks off, as some of you know. Was traveling a lot. Went all the way to Berlin for IFA. Got the shirt and everything. But yeah, I had a great trip. A lot of fun. All went well. And did a lot of posting over on Instagram and stuff. So some of you guys might have seen that. But we are back now in the studio, live streaming. And, always good to do these. I look forward to these every week. It's been an exciting week or two outside of all the travel and stuff, because we got, iPhone pre-orders. iOS26 came out this week to the public. So lots of good stuff. Let's say hi to some folks here in the chat and then we'll kind of get rolling. But first, we got to check in with everybody. Good afternoon we got Georgia in the house. What's up, Jeff from Georgia? Dawn is here. Looks good. Sounds great. Good. Okay, good. I'm glad. Thank you for confirming. I was thinking while the countdown was going, I did not check my microphone, which I should definitely do after, taking a couple weeks off. But I appreciate that. Pamakit, what's up, Pamakit from France? Got to meet you in person out there in Berlin. That was so cool, man. Great to see you in person, and great to see you here in the chat as well. Let's see. Torin is in the house. What's up, Torin? Ranked number 1, looks like, in the leaderboard, or what do they call that? Leaderboard, top fans, or something like that. Glad you could make it here. Frederick, what's up, Frederick? Glad to have Shane back from Germany. Thank you, Frederick. Frederick, good question there. Are we having the members only Discord call today? We're not going to do that today. For those who don't know, we do a monthly member chat, and with all the travel and stuff, it's usually on the first Wednesday of every month. We do it after these live streams, but obviously with all the travel and everything, couldn't commit to that, couldn't make it. So I think we're gonna wait. We're already like halfway through September, which is kind of crazy. So I think we're gonna wait, and we're just gonna go ahead and do the first Wednesday of October, kind of as scheduled. And I have some other stuff in mind that I want to do with the channel members in the Discord server and everything. Some special stuff I want to do this month because we couldn't do that monthly member chat, but also just as a thank you, we're going to do some fun stuff. So stay tuned for that, all the channel members. There will be more to follow on that pretty soon. But good question. Ben, what's up, Ben? Glad you could make it. Let's see here. Let's check out the chat. Wish I could have been there. George says, yeah, George, man, we got to get you there. Maybe next year. So still, and you guys, if you don't know George, go check out George's YouTube channel. I noticed, I think you posted a new video today or very recently. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. A lot of good smart home stuff over there on George's channel. A lot of cameras and things. Yeah, it's a long trip. I know you've been busy, so you couldn't make it this year, but it was a lot of fun. We got to, some of our other fellow creators that I know George knows was out there. Hung out with both Eric Welander, Modern Day Tech. Got to hang out with Paul Hibbert. So a lot of smart home content creators and just other content creators in general were out there, which was a lot of fun. Got to, meet up with the different brands. All the same stuff we're basically going to do at CES here in just like a few months. So, but it was a great time. And it was in Berlin. Never been to Berlin. So, kind of cool to go and see a new place. I actually decided it's why we didn't stream last week, actually. I decided to kind of stay a while, and I had an extra day or two, really, at the end, and decided to just see the city a little bit without really any stress as far as like commitments and things like that, content or whatever. So the last 2 days, I ended up going back to the conference because I guess I just love all the tech so much. But it was kind of nice to go back without any appointments or anything, and just kind of look around and check out all the cool, weird stuff that you see at those conferences without, being on a timeline or anything. So I did that like the last couple of days and just went out and saw Berlin, hung out with some other creators and friends that were there. And yeah, it was just a really good, chill last couple of days there. So I enjoyed that. Long flight though, man. It was, I feel like maybe just now I might finally be recovering from that jet lag, but coming back, I feel like kind of messed me up, man. I just was, it just took a while to get all my energy back, but I think we're back there now. We got Texas in the house. What's up, Holland Silverado? Like that name. Texas in the house. Bruce Randall. What's up, Bruce? Dawn, let's see, episode 7 of the Wife Approved podcast was great. Give it a watch and listen. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you watching and or listening, checking out the podcast. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, started a new podcast. We're only on episode 7. Just came out this week. There should be a link to it in the YouTube description. Would love to have you check it out if you're at all interested. It's not your average tech show, so go into it with that in mind, but we do talk tech because my wife has to deal with all of the tech that I'm using and constantly driving her crazy, it seems like, with all the stuff, all the smart home stuff here. Episode 6. Yeah, see, I don't even know. Episode 6. Yeah, you're right. Episode 6. Yeah, just posted this week. Okay, I think that's right. Yeah, but we got a new podcast coming out every week, and there's a separate YouTube channel for that we set up. If you want to follow along, I didn't want to just kind of bombard everybody on this channel with that. So if you are interested, would love for you to subscribe over there. It means a lot. Check it out. Subscribe. We're doing shorts on there, cutting stuff from the main podcast, but the new episodes come out every Tuesday morning. Of course, you can also listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to podcasts, you can find it. Don, my man, celebrating 39 months of membership. Thank you, Don, for the continued support. Having grandkids is really amazing. Even so, it reminds me young ones are viral bats. They gave me a doozy this past weekend. Even so, worth it. Yeah, I think Caroline actually talked about that a little bit, having a grandchild myself recently, or ourselves recently, talked about, chasing around little ones. I think once you've done it, and then it's just, it's like, how did I ever do this? It will wear you out. Let's see. New CarPlay is a lot better. What's up, John Wolf? Yeah, CarPlay is nice. We got you can add widgets now to CarPlay. I was thinking about doing some stuff with that. I don't know. I haven't really made a whole lot of CarPlay content, but I don't know. It might be a good time to do some more CarPlay stuff because that's pretty cool. We can add widgets now, so we can get a little bit more creative with some of the stuff we do. Mr. H4, 28 months of membership. Thank you, man, so much for the support. Hello. What do you think about the Apple event? Well, I guess we haven't even streamed since the Apple event because I was still in, I was still in Germany for that. It's about what I expected, to be honest. It's about what I expected it to be. New iPhones, Apple Watches, AirPods. I'm hearing a lot of really good things about the new AirPods Pro 3, but I was kind of at the point where I didn't really expect to see any new smart home stuff. I would have loved to. I would have loved to be pleasantly surprised, but I wasn't really expecting it. It's about what I expected it to be, I guess. But I did order a new iPhone, so there's that. What about you guys? Have you placed a pre-order for a new iPhone or any new Apple devices? Yeah, no HomePod. Yeah, I was pretty much expecting there not to be any HomePod announcements or anything like that during the event. Just didn't seem like it was the right time. So I don't know. Maybe there will be another Apple event in the fall. You know, they have done that before. There's been a fall event, and you never know. Maybe, I mean, hell, it could just be a press release they put out. You know, new HomePods released. It could still happen for sure. I do hope. I hope to see new Apple TVs and HomePods released before the end of this year, but you know, your guess is as good as mine. But I was kind of figure I did kind of figure it wasn't going to be during the iPhone event. Corey says, which iPhone, Air 17 Air or the Pro Max? Actually, neither. I got the 17 Pro. I pre-ordered the 17 Pro. I did not go with the Max. I've gotten to where, as long as there's not a big like spec difference between the Pro and the Pro Max, I just kind of prefer having the smaller size. Like I went with the 16 Pro for the past year instead of the Max, and it's just because, I don't know, I just got to where like I'm literally sitting around screens all day long. You know, I do have my iPad if I need something bigger like that, more mobile, but I'm just kind of trying to be on my phone less, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I just figured the smaller screen is just better for me. Like, you know, it fits in your pocket easier and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been going with the smaller one. That's what I went with. I handed down my, let's see, it was my 15. I did have the 15 Pro Max prior to the 16, and I ended up handing that down to my wife last year when I got the 16 Pro. So she has the Max, and she really loves it. She loves the big screen, you know. She does all her shopping, and I mean, she does everything on there. So this year, she was happy that we did pre-order her a new iPhone. So like for the first time in maybe forever, she is getting a brand new iPhone as well instead of my hand-me-down. So she's happy. What color did you guys get? I'm curious if you pre-ordered one or what color you're interested in. Size is only the difference between the Pro and the Pro Max this year, so just a matter of preference. Yeah, exactly. That was my thinking. Like if there's a big difference with the cameras, the camera system is a lot of times my justification for upgrading. And as long as the camera system isn't different, usually, or there's any other major differences, like I said, I like the smaller size, but yeah, they both have pretty much the same specs, especially with the cameras, so I went with the smaller one. And as much as, let's see if we can get on screen here, as much as I am loving the way that orange looks, I talked about this a little bit in our Discord server, I could not order the orange. Unfortunately, it looks really good. I get it. I think it looks awesome. I'm just, you know, I've got garnet and blood, or garnet and black in my blood, Gamecock fan. I just couldn't bring myself to have an orange phone because of Clemson. I know that's kind of stupid, but it does look pretty cool. My wife actually ordered the orange one, so she will be getting the Pro Max in orange. I went with the, what do they call in the blue? Deep blue. So I went with like the navy blue color. Would have probably got black if they had black or space gray or something. But yeah, those are the ones we got, orange and blue. Those are actually, orange and blue, that's actually my high school colors right there. I guess I could have went with that. But yeah, what do you guys say? Do you like the orange? It's different. I do like the way it looks. I just couldn't do the orange. We got pre-ordered the 17 Pro Max in the beautiful blue color. Okay, yep, that's what I got, minus the Max. Yep, I like the blue. Dylan, oh man, I don't know. Go Tigers. South Carolina in the house, that's right. Good to see you guys here representing. Don't care about the color, I just put a case on it. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of... But a lot of times, you know, I've got a clear case on mine now, but, you know, you still see the camera bump. So, I don't know. I've seen some pretty cool looking cases, especially that will match with that orange. So, yeah, Lawrence says, oops, sorry, wrong comment. Orange looks good in the black case. Yeah, it probably would. I actually saw a white case. Who is that from? Mophie, maybe? Maybe it was Mophie. There's like a kind of like an off-white, a light white color. It looked really good, and you could put like orange MagSafe accessories on it. They color matched to the orange phone. That looked really cool. I saw. I still need to get my wife a case actually. So we had to give it a try. Let's see. We got 17 Pro Max. 512 gigs in blue. Nice. Yeah, I went with 512 also this year. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the novelty wears off. That's a good point. I mean, anytime there's something new, it's always, exciting, but will that wear off? Good point. Magback, okay. Magback cases. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Right, good point. Because they extended the camera bump or whatever, so there'll be a lot more color that's displayed through the cases. Yeah, good point. So color, maybe for the first time makes more difference than ever, even if you do have a case on it. And do you guys, are you team case or do you go with no case? We had this conversation the other day. I did with my wife. I was like, I think I'm going to go with no case. I mean, I got Apple Care. Might as well use it. But I guess I'm just rough on my phones because every time I've tried that, I've tried it at least 2 or 3 years in the past. Every time I've tried it, I literally break the new phone within like a week or two. Like 2 weeks tops, I'll break it. So you would think I'd learned my lesson, but I don't know. I just kind of want to use it without a case still. My wife said I was an idiot, so I don't know. Turin says case. Team case all the way, Maddox. Yeah. Oh, we got some more bold ones here. Amatic Beats might try it with no case. No case on the Fold 7, says Dylan. Tom, I hate cases. I do use the MagSafe wallet though. Yeah. Roll Tide in the house. All right. The crossbody, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I should probably just be smart. Oh, Al says no case. Chris says case. All right, so we're like split. I should have done a poll to see like exactly where we stand on that. George got a few of the tech woven cases. Oh, you like them? Yeah, I miss the leather. I always liked the leather cases, like the real leather that Apple used to make. I did get those most of the time each year, but yeah, I don't know. They don't make them anymore, so I do kind of miss that. I miss the leather cases. Yeah, definitely if you work outside, case 100%. That's kind of like my thought process was, I work from home now. I mean, I'm doing this full time these days. Like, I just set up my desk, and I mean, I'm always working on projects around the house, but I still break my phone. I don't know. It's like, it's the truck. It seems to be, and they're slippery too, so it just like slips out of my pocket, I guess, or something like that. I don't know, but it seems to be getting in and out of the truck. It's kind of a long fall, and it hits the concrete. That's typically, I think, how I break my phone. So a case is probably smart for me. Yeah, that's me. I will probably drop it immediately. I'm the same. Oh yeah, screen protectors also. I don't know. They keep saying they're supposed to be tougher and better and all that. We'll see. I'll put it to the test maybe. Oh, we got tech woven case. Yeah, I haven't gotten any of the tech woven case. I think I got 1 or 2 cases from. Yeah, I think I got 1 or 2 cases maybe behind me that some gave me at IFA in Berlin. So might try some of those. But yeah, backup for me for sure. I got to go with the backup. Try e-grips on the back of the phone. A minimal effect and grips a seat or surface without sliding. E-grip. I don't know if I've seen that. Let me check that out. See if we can find that. I don't know that I've seen those. Where are you? It's like grip tape. This is eGrips. If anybody else is interested, maybe you want to go. Oh, interesting. So it's like just a little grip on there. I guess you still kind of get that bare iPhone feeling without the slipperiness. Okay. Yeah, I could see going with that if I did want to keep my phone naked this year. That would probably be smart. Keep it from slipping out of my pockets. Cool. Thanks for the tip. eGrips. I don't know. I still might just go with the case just to play it safe. I haven't decided. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the tech woven case. I don't know. Daniel says, how can I change my HomeKit hub through the app? Can't choose from one HomePod to an Apple TV. Yeah, so in your iPhone, in the Home app, you go to your home settings and then hubs and bridges, I think it's called. So this is all in your Apple Home app, home settings, hubs and bridges. And then you have to turn off automatic selection for your Apple Home Hub. And then you can choose which one you want to select. Okay, let's get into a couple of things we'll discuss here, want to share regarding iOS 26 first. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, so I don't know if you guys remember this or if you guys were in the live stream during that, but adaptive temperature, so this was kind of leaked into one of the betas or whatever, but it is officially a thing now, apparently. So adaptive temperature in iOS 26 the Home app provides two benefits. So here's a quick description of adaptive temperature. Set your thermostat to automatically adjust when you're on your way home, when you go to sleep, or when you're away for an extended period of time. Your iPhone uses on-device intelligence to predict when you're on your way home to bring it to the correct temperature by the time you get there and adjust the thermostats to save energy when you're far away from home. It also responds to the sleep schedule created on the iPhone to adjust the temperature for when you go to sleep and when you wake up. That all actually sounds pretty good. We'll get into that in a second. So the two basic components of adaptive temperature are your thermostat can automatically adjust when you're away and coming back home, and it can adjust based on your sleep schedule. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, some things to note here. The requirements, of course, you need an Apple Home Hub, like a HomePod, Apple TV, or something like that. But it says here you also need a Matter-compatible thermostat. So that was kind of interesting to see. This appears to be a feature that is only accessible through a Matter thermostat. So if you have a thermostat like, say, the Ecobee that does support HomeKit, but not through Matter, then I don't think you'll get this. I haven't gotten any pop-ups for this. I don't know, has anybody seen the adaptive temperature feature in the Home app since updating? I know it's only been, like a day or two. Was that yesterday? I don't even know what day it is right now. But yeah, iOS 26 just came out, but has anybody seen the adaptive temperature option? I have not. Chris says, are you saying yes? Have you, Chris? And if so, let me know what thermostat you're using. Yeah, Keenan says, has anyone noticed that in iOS 26 it doesn't show if doesn't show you if any device is up in the corner anymore. So like the no response devices, you have to tap the three bubbles for it to show you any connection issues. Yep, that is something, we kind of saw that earlier in the betas, and I think that is, I'm assuming that's just, I don't know, it's just a design choice, I guess. I think maybe they're doing that because people maybe get annoyed with, it's like the little red icons almost. on your apps. You know, some people just, I kind of hate having that. I always have something that's no response in my house, if nothing else, because I'm always testing and moving stuff around for the YouTube channel. So I kind of like this, that I don't have that little notification kind of up there always bugging me. But yeah, that's definitely something to note, I suppose. If you do look for that to check for any connection issues, you do now have to tap into that little option, the 3 dots, to see if there are any connection issues in your home app. I have not heard Ecobee say anything about Matter. Okay, Chris, I see you. We got some Ecobee, a lot of Ecobee thermostats in here. Yeah, Ecobee pretty, yeah, you know, Ecobee pretty much does that anyways. And a lot of these features with the adaptive temperature that we're talking about are accessible through most good smart thermostat manufacturer apps. But I think there's a little bit of difference using the home app. For one, it can tie into your sleep focus mode or whatever, I guess, your sleep settings, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's pretty similar. I, for one, kind of see it as problematic. I'm always a little hesitant to use like any type of kind of adaptive or AI type of automation options for my thermostat, because when you have a house full of other people, it doesn't take a lot to like mess something up, right? So the like adaptive temperature would probably work great if you lived by yourself, but let's say you live with somebody else, maybe who doesn't have an iPhone, or is not connected to the home app, or maybe you got kids that are at home when you're not home, stuff like that. So using your location would definitely be a problem in those cases. So it just depends whether or not I think that's a useful feature or not to you. What's up, Edgar? Glad you could hop in here. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of Ecobee, one update I noticed, this was actually probably a couple weeks ago. Early September. So Ecobee security, the Ecobee thermostat can basically be like a security system too. I did a video on the whole security system side of Ecobee stuff a while ago. You guys can go back and check it out if you're interested in that. I was quite critical actually about it. I like it. It works well. I just don't like how they had certain things behind a paywall. That's, in a nutshell, was my biggest criticism of it. But pretty cool system. And another one of my criticisms was that it didn't expose the security system portion to Apple Home, which to me was kind of a big deal. Well, they now do that. So you can now control the security system, accessory within the Apple Home app. It is now exposed to HomeKit. So as you can see here, this is new, but you should be able to do that now, which is nice. So I'm definitely glad that they added that if you want to utilize the security system. I might give it another try, maybe test it out a little bit and see how I like it, and if I can get away with like not using their subscription service just for like some of those security features, but we'll see. So that is an update there. If you use Ecobee and you're considering the security system, or maybe you already are using the security system, that should now be exposed to Apple HomeKit. All right, I see a couple questions or a couple comments about the Philips Hue Hub Pro. So let's take a look at that. Alert Jerk says, I love it. Let's take a look here. This is the new Bridge Pro, recently released. And I'll be honest, I have not looked a whole lot into this because I really have not been using Philips Hue at all for a while. But let's take a look at some of the differences from the older bridge to the new one. You can now connect up to 150 plus devices. Let's see. So very large capacity, 3 times more capacity for light scenes, ultra fast, 5 times faster. This is a really cool one here, this motion aware. I would be interested in testing that out. So motion aware uses your lights as motion sensors, which is really cool. It's using like I think it's using the wireless protocol somehow, to determine like presence, which is pretty interesting. I need to look into that a little bit more before I talk too much about it probably. And you can connect the new one through Wi-Fi, although I would recommend using Ethernet if you can. Yeah, so I guess that could be a benefit if maybe you don't have access to, you're near to your router or whatever. But always use Ethernet for those bridges if you can. So yeah, that's kind of for heavy Philips Hue users. I'm sure it's a nice upgrade, but I just haven't really been a big Philips Hue user in quite a while. Alert jerk. Okay, motion aware is great. So you've tested that out already. Nice. That's cool. So it works well. Awesome. I don't think I've talked to anybody who has used it. Oh gosh, we got the wife in here. You better order a case. You always drop it on day one and break it every year. That's not true. That's not true. Not every year. Some years I get a case, but every year that I don't have a case, she's probably right. But I mean, that's what Apple Care is for, right? I mean, you might as well use it. You're paying for it. I'm gonna get in trouble here. No motion sensors anymore, but only 4 zones. Okay. Carrying a man purse. Okay, you gotta have 3 lights. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks, John. Yeah, I need to look into the motion aware a little bit more. Philips Hue is. I don't have anybody that sends me information from Philips Hue like some of these other brands. So it's kind of different. But I should look into that a little bit and maybe give it a try. I literally just, I don't know, maybe it would be a good time to try out the new bridge because I literally just removed my Philips Hue bridge not too long ago. I only had like 1 or 2 lights left from Philips Hue, and I was like, I don't need to be taking up space in my rack with this bridge for 1 light, so I took it out. Birdie Baggio, I do have 1 or 2 phone cases already, so that's good. That has happened in the past where I'll order a phone and then I'll forget to order a case for it. Just, I don't know, I get busy or something, I guess, and I'm like, I'll get the phone, and of course I'm so excited to use the phone. I can't wait to then get a case, even if it's from like Amazon, like 2 days later. I've got to open the phone right away, and I'll literally break my phone before the case arrives that I just ordered. That has happened before. Let's see. Apple Care is not worth it, Brian says. No, Todd, I am not using Philips Hue anymore. I do have 1 outdoor light that I will continue to use because it's a fixture that's installed, and I will continue to use that, but I just bypassed the bridge, and I think I paired it directly to Home Assistant, either Home Assistant or Homey, one of the two, so I could still use that with like my smart home automations and stuff. Matt, no, I don't think ESR gave me any cases. I think, what do I have? Oh no, there was one company actually called, I think, Next or Next One or something like that. They were only in Europe. They made they had a really nice looking display. It looked like an Apple store, but they're not available in the US. They gave me a case, and there might have been one other one. But no, ESR, they didn't have any that they would give out. I don't think it was ESR. I think that was the company that didn't have, they didn't have any that day or whatever for some reason. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like using Zigbee too, so nothing wrong with that. I just don't really use smart light bulbs, so I prefer smart switches. If I used a ton of smart bulbs in my house, I would probably consider Philips Hue pretty strongly, but I just don't really use light bulbs, smart bulbs. It's just smart switches for me everywhere, and for that, I pretty much use either Aqara, which is Zigbee also, or it could be Thread, but I like to use Zigbee, or Lutron Caseta. It's mostly Lutron Caseta switches in my house. Is there a way for an iPad that's in sleep mode to automatically pull up a live feed when motion is detected? Oh, not natively, not for like a live feed of a camera. There's some ways you can kind of get that done, accomplished, but not easily, I don't think. It would probably require like maybe with Home Assistant and stuff like that. What I've done with I have a wall mounted iPad and I put it in guided access mode usually, which means it's locked into like the Home app. And then I use a motion sensor that's nearby. And when the motion sensor detects motion, it basically sends a notification. I have notifications turned on the iPad for that sensor. And so when it gets a notification on the iPad, it wakes up the screen. So I use that not for like motion from cameras, but when somebody is like walking up to that wall mounted iPad, it'll kind of wake up. So all right, what else we got here? There's some more stuff I wanted to cover, and then we can do some questions too if you guys have questions for me. I know it's been a couple of weeks here. I had a few people share this to me, so if you are a Starling Home Hub user or you were considering becoming one, you might want to take note of this. It's unfortunate here. It says Starling Home Hub is no longer available for purchase. If you're not aware, this is basically a hub that allows you to connect Google devices, Google Nest devices into Apple HomeKit. I've always heard really good things about it. I've never used it personally, always heard really good things about it. But yeah, they're kind of blaming tariffs and stuff. I don't know what the reason, but they're saying tariffs and because of cost and things like that, they're going to be unable to continue making this. They do say we'll continue to provide technical support and security bug fix updates for existing customers, along with the Starling Protect service as long as we can, and we're aiming to maintain enough stock to be able to honor product warranties for existing customers. So that's really nice to hear. But yeah, unfortunate because I've always, like I said, heard good things about Starling Home Hub, but something to note there if you're using those. Checking the comments here. Yeah, Al Silva, I understand that. The reason to use smart bulbs is for adaptive lighting. Yeah, that makes sense. I get that. I use adaptive lighting on like my accent lights. So like my under cabinet lights, or sometimes even lights behind a TV and things like that, or desk light strips, just accent lights. I'll use the adaptive lighting feature because yeah, I agree. That is nice. Eric Wielander's in the house. What's up, Eric? Glad you could pop in here. Hope you're having a good week so far. Another good YouTube channel there. If you guys aren't already aware of Eric's channel, go check him out. Yeah, more reason to buy native devices. And that kind of was an interesting point too regarding like native devices. I thinking looking back at the adaptive lighting feature that we were talking about, only being supported through Matter. This is pretty interesting because it's maybe one of the first times we're getting a feature that you like has to be a Matter device. So if you just have a thermostat that supports Apple Home, you can't use it. But with Matter, a Matter thermostat, you can. So maybe we're slowly getting to the point where Matter devices is just what you want to get, because it will just work with whatever ecosystem you want to use it with. And you can use adaptive temperature. Jason, have you completed your switch to Unify Protect? I have. I guess that was for me. I have switched over, I think all but one or two. I still have like one or two Aqara cameras, and I think one Reolink camera I still need to switch. I've been kind of lazy because it requires me getting really high up on a ladder to do, but most of them have been switched out to Protect. James, what's up, James from Vegas? Glad you can make it here. Let's see. Did the Matter roadmap you saw at IFA say much of anything? Yeah, so I did get to see and actually talk to some folks from Matter and Thread and just all kinds of great people when I was at IFA. What you're talking about is probably something I posted on Instagram. There was a little keynote, and they were mainly talking about kind of the roadmap that got us to where we're at now. They didn't really say anything specific about the future, but it looks like they're definitely headed in the right direction. And I don't know. I'm hoping to see cameras sooner than later. There was nothing official that was stated about that, but it's something I thought we weren't going to see at least till 2026. Maybe it'll happen sooner. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, they didn't state anything official with the roadmap or anything, but I kind of got the impression that some good things are coming. So I know they're all working really hard, it sounds like, on just getting Matter to where it needs to be. So that is always encouraging. Were the Home Assistant people at IFA? Yeah, I think they were at IFA. I didn't get to meet up with any of the Home Assistant folks, I don't think. Let me think. I'm trying to think of who I got. I had so many people I saw during the time I was there. But yeah, I think there was actually, I did meet some, there was some, yeah, I think they were there, but they maybe had a meetup and I wasn't able to go to or whatever, but I'd like to see more of Caroline's disapproving looks. I get enough of those. We don't need those in the live stream. That's what the podcast is for, just that. Her sitting in the white chair. We don't need to give her a cocktail. Thanks, Pamakit. Answer the question there. Okay, so yeah, I didn't talk to them, but I know there were some other European content creators, especially that do a lot of Home Assistant stuff that were there, and I talked to some of them. I think there was maybe a Home Assistant meetup that I didn't go to. Oh, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. Enjoying the new podcast. with me and the wifey. It's fun. I'm enjoying it too. I'm glad you guys are as well. Yeah, I did talk to the guys from Homey a little bit. They didn't really have anything new to discuss or share. It's basically the same thing that they shared at CES, which is just their current Homey Pro, the Homey Pro Mini, which is the newest one, and their Homey Bridge. They had just a little section at the LG, I can't even call it a booth because it was like a whole LG like room and a half. It was massive, the LG stuff. Andy, that has not been asked yet. So Andy asked, what was the deal with the Aqara solar camera? Any idea when those will be available? And we don't know when those will be available. So that was one of two products that were basically considered, did she use the word prototype? I think she did use the word prototype. So they are still in the early stages. So there's no official date or anything on the camera, the solar powered camera, outdoor camera, and the new security hub that they announced. So those are two like prototype products. Knowing Aqara, they do move really fast to market and they always fulfill their promises. So I would say that if those products do come to fruition, which I expect they will, I mean, if they showcase them there, it will probably be within the next year. If I had to guess, maybe sooner. I've seen them come out with stuff really fast. And also we have CES coming up in just a few months. So that's like at the beginning of January. Aqara will probably more than likely be there, and maybe we'll get some more information about, timelines and stuff for that product. But that one we don't know if or when. Oh, good. Thank you. Eric says, for what it's worth, last year the Aqara G5 camera was a prototype at IFA, and then we got more details at CES. Yeah, so there we go. That's what I was thinking. And yeah, so hopefully at CES we'll get some more details from that. I would expect to. And I did get them to give us more of a definitive timeline for the FP300, the little motion presence sensor, the wireless presence sensor, because I know a lot of people ask about that, myself included. They said that like review samples should be going out very soon, like within the next week or two, couple weeks from IFA, and that it should be coming available to purchase within, I think she said, the next month or two. So should be very soon for that. We'll see. I'm checking my mailbox and I will let you know when we get one. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I need to make some more automations with motion and presence, a good presence sensor, a battery powered one too, preferably. The Aqara plugs and sockets coming to the UK. I don't recall off the top of my head when those are coming. I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find anything real quick. So I know a lot of people from Europe were pretty excited to see those. Here is like the press release. So there's that Matter Hub. Oh no, not that one. The security hub. Yeah, the home station. That was the other prototype device I was talking about. And so yeah, to what we were saying earlier, the two prototype devices at IFA was the camera G510 and the home station. And the H2, let's see. Yeah, I think the only one of those they said was a prototype was the power strip. So no information on there. I don't remember I don't know if Eric or anybody else that was there remembers specifically when those would be available. But since those aren't prototypes, those are definitely coming. I would expect it would be probably before the end of this year but I don't recall exactly off the top of my head, so don't hold me to that. Poor Shane. The wife approved podcast is too funny. Poor Shane. Thanks for but no, it's been fun. I'm a lucky guy. I can't complain. No need to feel sorry for me. She's a good sport. I've now given her a microphone though, which may not have been the best idea. So now she can vent openly and freely every week. Alex, thank you so much. 34 months of membership. Did you see anything in Germany that you thought was weird or funny with us Europeans? Not really anything weird or funny. I did note the differences. Just being over in Europe. That was literally the first time I was in Europe, my adult life. I was 5 years old last time I was in Germany. So I was noting a bunch of differences, which is just interesting, but not necessarily funny. I guess like culturally, I noticed that at least in Berlin, people seem to be a lot healthier than what I'm used to seeing around where I live here in the States. Another thing, I definitely noticed that the entire time I was there, I did not see one pickup truck, which, is, I guess, expected, but literally everywhere I go where I live, every other car is a pickup truck, often more than that. So that was kind of interesting. Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric replied, I don't remember on an Aqara plug release date either. Yeah, so they may not have said, but should be soon, I would expect. Let's see, what else? What other differences were there? So that was just some of the things I noticed. But yeah, all in all, it was a really cool city. Like, I enjoyed being in Berlin. I was just in Berlin, didn't go anywhere else while I was there. And I really had a lot of fun. I pretty much rode everywhere on a scooter the whole time I was there. That was like my preferred mode of transportation. Also, just a really cool way to see the city and stuff, both during the day and at night. That was fun. And the food, man, the food was amazing. Such good food. I really enjoyed that. That was definitely nice. And the beer, good beer too. Had really enjoyed that as well. Maybe a little too much at times. Don says the weirdest thing I saw in Europe was the fountain sodas with no ice. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really drink soda, so I don't think I tried to drink a soda there. I didn't notice that. I guess another thing that maybe was kind of weird is the sparkling water. Like, that's not something that I'm used to. I don't know if that's just because of where I'm located in the U.S. or if all across the U.S. maybe people drink sparkling water, but like the sparkling water was everywhere, and you have to like specify if you want still water or the sparkling water, or they called it something else, I think, not sparkling, but yeah. So like there were a number of times where I would buy like bottles of water and accidentally got the sparkling stuff, which is okay. I guess I kind of got used to it, but that was kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really need the carbonation in my water. Like, just give me straight water. But yeah, I don't know. That was different too. Has Caroline been in Europe? Has Caroline had a cocktail in Germany? Has Caroline expressed any interest in drinking a cocktail in Germany? No, and no. Yeah, that's easy. Nope. She's not been to Germany. Has really no interest in going anywhere, any flights beyond like 4 hours. It's going to be really tough to get her on a plane for. They call it mineral water. No, I don't have a soda stream. I missed that question, Frederick, about, let's see if I can find that. Paul. Talking about the outdoor lights, maybe. Sorry, I might have missed the question. I don't know if, oh wait, I'm getting closer. Sorry. Oh, any good recommendations for lighting on a 160-foot vinyl fence? Solar is not cutting it. Okay, maybe that was the question. Yeah, I did a video for outdoor lighting. I mean, running electrical is always going to be the challenge probably for something like a fence or whatever. Ecobee has tons of outdoor lights. I did a video in the backyard. It was like an outdoor backyard outdoor lighting video over the summer. I remember because it was like, I think mid-June, and I about killed myself trying to install those lights in the middle of the heat. But I mean, floodlights, deck lights, permanent outdoor lights, Ecobee makes all kind of stuff. Again, getting power may be the challenge depending on where you're having to install these, the vinyl fence. The deck lights would probably look pretty cool on a vinyl fence. You could point them up or down. I did install some of those on the deck in that video, but a vinyl fence I would think would probably even look better, especially if it's like a white vinyl fence. I think that would look pretty good if you can get power to them, and then you can connect a bunch of them together. So that might work. I'd probably check out those. And those are Matter over Wi-Fi, the Ecobee ones. Modern Day Tech. What's up, Eric? Eric's in the house. The other Eric. Awesome, man. Glad to have you here. I always got weird looks when I tried to order iced coffee. Yeah, I didn't order any iced coffee either. Yeah, that's interesting. Is that not a thing in Europe, iced coffee? Yeah, you'll have to let me know. Maybe that's not a thing. I don't like iced coffee. Like, I would drink hot coffee on a 95-degree day to get my coffee in before I drink iced coffee. I just drink my coffee black, and just iced coffee, I don't know, doesn't do it for me. Unless you add a bunch of sugar and stuff, then it's probably okay. But Trent, Lone Star Trent says, has Bulldog said anything more about the gate lock? They have not said anything more other than, I don't remember last time we talked about it, but they did confirm that they are moving forward with the project. So they did tell me that. You guys know it was on Kickstarter. That is the outdoor gate lock that works with, I think it was HomeKit or Matter over Thread. They were on Kickstarter. They didn't meet their goals on Kickstarter, but I was told that they are still going to move forward with the project. So that was the last thing I heard, way back when. That was, probably like a month ago or something, after they ran that Kickstarter. So they are apparently moving forward with the project still. So that is definitely exciting. Hot coffee, cappuccino, Trent says. Oh, Stephen says they got iced coffee in Denmark. Don, thank you so much, Don. Don gifted 5 channel memberships. Man, I appreciate that, Don. Thank you so much. Corey, Everyday Family, LT Bama, and let's see who else. Some others Eric W. received a gifted membership. And as a member, you have access to our member Discord server. New early access to new videos most of the time. We also do that monthly member chat, which we're going to do on the first Wednesday. Next one will be on the first Wednesday of, where are we at? First Wednesday of October coming up. And yeah, some other perks there as a channel member. So you get that for a month if you got one gifted, and then you can choose to stay on if you would like. Would love to see you over there in the Discord server. Like I said, all you channel members, stay tuned. Check out the Discord server if you haven't already. Going to do something, I think, a little special in the next couple weeks over there on Discord. Europe is greater than U.S. on beer, but U.S. is greater than European on trucks and ice. That sums it up right about there. Yeah. I don't think my truck would have fit on most of the roads over there. Yeah, just small cars everywhere. It's complete opposite here. So that was pretty interesting. Yes, thank you, Frederick. And if you are a channel member, to connect to Discord, you just need to go into your Discord user settings and connect your YouTube account. It's called Connections, I think. in your Discord user settings. So Discord is free. If you don't have an account, you can just go to the website or download the Discord app, create a free account, and then connect your YouTube account and get access to that server. I get in there every day, check on things, try to communicate as much as I can. A lot of awesome people in the server, so some good help there too, probably if you're working on building a smart home like the rest of us, like we all are. Real quick, Chris, smart switches. I'm going to go with Lutron still. They still haven't announced any Matter support, but they support all the ecosystems. Lutron is just rock solid. That's my go-to. I pretty much changed out most of mine to Lutron. Some other ones to look at and consider are Aqara. I do like Aqara as well. They're a little bit more affordable than Lutron. And then also Eve makes some decent switches too, and there's our Matter over Thread. So those would be the ones I'd consider, but Lutron is still my primary go-to for smart switches. Some of the smartest people on the planet are on Shane's Discord. It seems to be. It definitely seems to be the case, for sure. I know I've gotten some good advice from many of you guys over there in the Discord server as well, which has been awesome. All right, cool, man. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out and talking. I think we got through maybe like half of the stuff I wanted to talk about, but it was fun just chatting and answering questions with you guys. We'll be back every Wednesday now. Shouldn't be traveling much here for a while, so every Wednesday we'll be live streaming right here. Also, if you want to check out, behind the scenes of our marriage and family and tech mishaps and all that stuff, check out the podcast, the new podcast we just started, the Wife Approved Podcast. You can search for it, on Apple Podcasts, or check out the link. There's a new YouTube channel for that. Would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. And with all that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out. It's great to be back. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and God bless.